Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Satmai Shri Guru Deva Namaha. A very good morning to all of you. I, Dr. Dimple Chawla, welcome you all for the expert talk on the building AI platforms and strategies for Viksit Bharat. Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, recognized by Bar Council of India and approved by All India Council of Technical Education. VIPS-TC is a NAC A++ grade accreditation and NBA runs multiple courses like UG and PG, BBA, BCA, MCA, BTech, BLLB, Law, BJMC, MA, and UG PG programs. Under the guidance of Swami Vivekananda Ji, man-making, character building, and nation building as espoused by Swami Vivekananda Ji, to establish, maintain, and promote Central of Excellence for imparting quality professional education in India and abroad, to develop and integrate, continuously improve institutional and planning implementation strategies and evaluation activities for VIPS-TC. Today, I am proud to say that I welcome on, we have the adjunct professor of physics, Professor Dr. Pravachandra Deshmukh ji from India Institute of Technology, Tirupati, Rashtriya Vidyalaya Chairperson, Center for Quantum Security and Technology, School of Computer Science and Engineering, Rashtriya Vidyalaya University, Bangalore, Chairperson, Quantum Technique and Quantum Communication Mission. His area of interest on photo absorption process in free confined atom molecules and ions. He is a mentor and convener at CHEMOST, Center of Atomic, Molecular, Optical Science and Technology. He is a member of Mode of Editors, Physics Scripta, IOP. His recent significant research contribution talks about highlighting the major contribution to the study of auto-second time delay in atomic photonization. He won the 2023 Nobel Prize in Physics, has been awarded into this field.
I think you're going too far.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Professor of NA, and he's one of the Nobel Laureate of the Year. Second, we have another expert today with us, Dr. Vishnu Vardhanji, the Building on COE, CEO Haroon, founder SML Visi Technology. I welcome, sir. Right, sir. Another expert, we have Somnath ji, Senior Solution Architect, NV India. Somnath ji is a senior scientist, senior solution architect in NV India with over the 14 years of industry experience. His expertise span across solution involving accelerated commuting in the GPU, cloud, HPC, AI solutions. He has proven the track record of serving expertise in this. Now I welcome Chairman Sir, VIPS-TC, to come forward to facilitate the guest. I request Chairman Sir and Uday Sir, please come forward. Now I request Uday Birje Raghunanji, Professor, to facilitate Vishnu Vardhanji and Somnath Janasar ji to facilitate. Somnath ji. Now I request Uday sir, Professor of Practice, please come and address the gathering.
Happy morning. Why is everybody sad? I have to remind every college, it's the same. Every gathering, I have to remind people our only goal in life is to be happy. AI, quantum, IoT, whatever technology is all meant for happiness of humans. Okay? Can we say happy morning? Thank you. So I think we are running almost 1.5 hours behind schedule. I always think the only way to experience this beautiful campus is to become a student here. I think I am at least 50 plus, so I don't know I can be a student, but at least I was thinking that maybe our children or grandchildren or someday will experience this fantastic campus. But thank you for a great visit. I'm sure you, Dr. Vishnuvardhan and Somnath ji must be overawed by the kind of fantastic campus that and modern infrastructure that is here. Thank you for that. So I will try to shorten my presentation because of in the interest of time. But definitely I should talk about. I think maybe it's a good idea to sit in the front so that some of you, yes, sir, yeah, because the projector is also, yeah, you may be able to see the slides as well. You want to remove the chairs also? So thank you. I wanted to start a little bit to give you a background. Why are we doing all this great, building this great infrastructure around AI and quantum? And about 15, 20 years back, we couldn't even think of, I didn't know what quantum was. And last 2 years, I have noticed the kind of tremendous progress India has made. We are not only talking about AI and quantum, we have fantastic startups, innovation going around these technologies. And in the last 3 months alone, I think significant progress on quantum. So I don't want to take much time on explaining about AI and quantum, but definitely want to give you a background on how these technologies will be relevant in our country, which is what I said, business opportunities and in emerging Bharat. No points for guessing what this animal is, right? And I did not put this to show off my photography skills or whatever. By the way, this is still a raw picture. And it needs to be enhanced, but I didn't have the time. So the reason I chose this is, one, what is the main reason? Why do you think, what is the significance of a tiger? Apart from our chairman himself being a wildlife photographer, and he has a book, fantastic book. Sir, I think the book was not gifted to our guests. We will do that later. Okay. So what is the significance of a tiger? Huh? Powerful. All the attributes apart, please remember, tiger is the national animal of the country. And we just celebrated International Tiger Day this Monday. I was there in the forest this Monday. Apart from that, you must be proud. India has 50% of the tigers in the world. And the Karnataka, which is the second biggest, has the second biggest tiger population in the country. So worldwide, there are about 7,000 tigers, 3,600 are in India. So there is significant. There's a next big reason why I chose this. Because I have been in leadership position for the last 30, 35 years of all big MNC American companies, Digital, DEC, that is DEC, which is now merged with HP, Alcatel-Lucent, Cabletron Systems. I was very lucky to be a MD at the age of 34. And so why am I saying this? I got an opportunity to mingle with some of the best leaders across the world. Americans, Britishers, French, Dutch, and all this kind. Every time, at least 15 years back, every time I'm with them, they used to ask me, I keep reading newspaper articles about India is the sleeping tiger. When is it going to wake up? That was the question about 15, 20 years back. And I used to be embarrassed and say, don't worry, it will wake up. And any doubts on that, the tiger has woken up. I think every single parameter, if you look at GDP, innovation, ease of doing business, every single parameter we are ahead. And India is going to definitely outpace China in the growth at least, may not be in the overall GDP. So there is AI we are talking about, so and another piece on the tiger. Do you notice the difference, the same picture? The same picture, right? Why? I mean, you see that the Jeep is missing. How is that possible? Huh? Huh? Nagarole. AI. Do you think it is ethical? So as I said, I will shorten my presentation. The lawyers, the law community will have a new practice called AI ethicist. Means his job is to ensure that ethical practices are followed in his community. AI ethicist. So when people ask me, AI will take away jobs, quantum will take away jobs, I tell them, these are the new jobs that are going to be created. No question of jobs getting lost. And also my own guru, I would say the first guru, second guru is here, Professor Sadgopan. We did 3 healthcare events in the last 3 months. Professor Sadgopan just recently mentioned doctors and teachers will continue to do what they are doing today. Rest of it will be done by machines. So I think I am the newest converted teacher, so I'm happy that my job is protected. So, and great tribute to all the teachers here. Students need to think of what they're going to do. Okay, that is possible with skills, but it doesn't mean that they're going to lose the jobs. Okay, doctors and teachers will continue to, because in my personal view, no technology can replace them. Okay, so this is what the ethics part of AI. So all of you here, the students, teachers, are going to debate and think about how we can positively use technology rather than presenting it like this. Okay. There's my favorite slide. Every school and college that I go to, I talk about this. And there's no better place than VIPS to, really showcase the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. All human knowledge proceeds out of experience. We cannot know anything except by experience. Yesterday, Dr. Deshmukh was talking about the, what was that? Cyclotron. I had not heard this word before. I didn't know what a cyclotron. Yesterday, we saw this fantastic innovation that is going on in IUAC. It's a hidden gem of the country. And all of the students here and the faculty here will participate in that to get skilled and trained or whatever. We will talk about that later. So what this means is, okay, maybe the next slide it may be repetitive for some of you, but knowledge is what you get in an institution. But the new era is connecting all the dots, and that's what experience is. The biggest difference between knowledge and experience is knowledge can be taught, but experience cannot be. Remember, so experience, whether you are in a lab or get mentored by experienced people like all the great people in the front, that is what is going to decide what you are going to next in your career growth. Very important. And that's what we are doing at VIPS, bringing in experiential learning in every technology, whether it's AI, quantum, or whatever. That's why we are talking about the great center of excellence and quantum and AI and various other technologies. Okay. So how many of you have stored the main processor in your refrigerator or something? It's high time we start using our main processor. Okay. I see that happening rapidly. So when we talk about Viksit Bharat, in my view, there are 3 pillars. 3 big pillars for Viksit Bharat. And this is only this. Quantum, AI, and VLSI. This, I don't know how many billions of investment is going into this through FDI and through our own local government funding. This is going to drive what is called as the India's decade. Irrespective of which sector you are in. You are in finance, you are in law, you are in electronics, you are in agriculture, you are in e-commerce. This is what will be the main pillars of India's journey to Viksit Bharat for 2047. And at least two experts we have, quantum and AI, to talk about this today. But the beauty is, VIPS is aggressively implementing strategies around all these three pillars: VLSI, AI, and quantum. Okay? This is one slide which when people talk about jobs going away and whatever, what the general person or the common man sees is only the top layer, what we call as the iceberg. But people forget there is beyond that iceberg, what is below, which is actually more than 70%. Who will do the job of ethicist? Can we have another robot to do the job of ethicist? No. So humans. So don't even worry that there is no job loss that going to happen. But today's situation, companies are using that as an excuse because of their profits having dropped. They are saying AI, because of AI, I'm laying off 15,000 workers. That's not the real reason. Because of course, there is some automation happening or whatever. But so the only way to be in this scenario is to reskill and upskill. Okay? So the whole hype around AI is because of this. And the famous statement that Mukesh Ambani made, which actually increased the hype some time back, because he is actually the king of oil, you should say, right? Reliance Petro, and they are, the petroleum plant in Jamnagar is the biggest in the world. And I was actually personally involved in building the IT infrastructure there. It's massive. When the king of oil, at least for the country, is saying that data is the next oil, that is the reason why AI, quantum is getting into our day-to-day lives. So I will skip this. I think AI is all about doing things autonomously, okay? And one question came up in the studio we were sitting. I think there is no better person than Deshmukh sir to talk about what is the correlation between AI and quantum. So he will talk about that more in detail. So we have some great technology people from NVIDIA. NVIDIA, right now the employees are all counting their millions, in how much is the bank balance is going to be. That's the kind of valuation NVIDIA is. I think it became the #1 valued company recently. So with greater power comes greater responsibility, which means you have power on your fingertips today. How many of you noticed WhatsApp has AI today? Have you noticed? Meta AI. Meta AI. You can ask questions right on WhatsApp. Unimaginable just a few weeks back. Greater compute power and larger amount of data. So you can say you have greater power, and there is no better person again to explain about that. We have Somnath from NVIDIA. I think he has great experience in architecting many solutions across the country. Okay, and this is just yesterday, not even 24 hours back. There's such a beautiful center in Delhi. Thanks to Deshmukh sir, he took us there. Amazing, the kind of work that is going on. And I just want to thank Deshmukh sir. And why I wanted to show this picture is the director himself spent 2 hours with us and said that we want to collaborate with VIPS. I just want to applaud Deshmukh ji. I think kindly give him a big hand. All this is possible. So here I want to talk about one thing. There is so much of hype going on. Economic Times, you see that one college has, invested in quantum or some AI hardware, Intel, IBM, or NVIDIA. And I saw one full-page ad by one big college. Let me tell you one thing. One thing is very clear. No amount of infrastructure can make the college great. What makes the college great are the people who are sitting here and right in the front row. That is what. We need the skills, we need the experience, we need the gray hair, people to mentor you, to teach you, to make you sit in front of these kind of machines and practically teach you. You build a fantastic, a data center in a large campus. No, you're not going to be teaching great quantum and AI. These are the teachers, and some of you will join that. Okay, let's be clear on that. So VIPS is doing that systematically. Before investing on the infrastructure, we want to see what are the kind of experts who will come and mentor all of you. Okay? So that's it. I think I just want to welcome you all for a great session for the next roughly an hour or so, and welcome to the journey of India's decade. Thank you. Jai Hind. Okay, so I forgot that I was managing the agenda. So I will now would like to request Dr. Deshmukh sir to talk about. So your presentation is here. So yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a great honor to be here, a great joy as well. This is an amazing institution, and part of the reason we are here is because we believe that the Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies will be playing a lead role toward a Viksit Bharat. And the goals means we want to see ourselves as a fully developed nation by 2047. And here you see Modi say that we cannot stop until this dream of a developed India is fulfilled. But the first person to say this, of course, was the original Narendra. Stop not till the goal is reached. And we are here in this institution which is inspired by Swamiji. Thank you, sir, for setting up such a wonderful institution over here. This is incredible. I have spent about 4 decades in some of the best institutions in India. Most of my life, I served the IIT Madras. I have been affiliated with the IIT Tirupati, ISER Tirupati. I also served the IIT Mandi on deputation. I have worked with some of the best institutions in India, working with scientists and innovators in TIFR, Raman Research Institute, and Indian Institute of Science and other places. And the atmosphere over here which you have created is awesome, sir. This is absolutely awesome. So I will share just a few slides toward building platforms and strategies for Viksit Bharat, which is today's theme. And as Udayji pointed out, the AI/ML and QML, which is quantum machine learning, these are going to be important, tools toward it. And also quantum hardware and devices. Now, it is important that we don't do it just as a spectator, but we need to have people who will be driving these technologies. And it is not easy to set up a quantum laboratory. There are few quantum computers, means you must be knowing from the media, who are the major industry giants, and there are some other quantum computers which are being built all over the world, including in India. But maybe 5-10 years from now, there will be many more quantum computers. And even the manner in which computing is done using classical computers will be done in a different way because of these quantum computers. So it's very important to get hands-on experience in this, get into engineering skills. The cyclotron project which Udayji mentioned does not have anything directly to do with a quantum computer. but it has everything to do with engineering skills which are required to build a quantum computer. And that is the reason such projects are important. And I can foresee that the students and faculty in this institute will be one of the first private institutions, one of the first private universities. This institution will be a university very soon to participate in such projects. And it is destined to provide leadership toward Viksit Bharat. It's a little more than 2 decades away. And the good thing is that this institute has made a beginning now. And in this beginning, it is way ahead of most other universities or private institutions in the country. So I think this is a great place to make a beginning toward Viksit Bharat. Everybody knows that these are the 4 pillars of the National Quantum Mission: the quantum computing, quantum communication, quantum sensing, metrology, quantum materials and devices. And we need to get hands-on experience in each of these technologies. Now the question will come as to how do you do that, because you can't access a quantum computer easily. You can perhaps access some of the simulators, but we are not talking about what you can do just today or tomorrow. We are talking about what you should do today and tomorrow so that you can do it 5 years from now. And that is what I think we have some sort of a roadmap for this, and we have to get going along this. So here we are in Delhi. Let me tell you a little bit about my experience, which I would like to share with students and faculty over here. We have a Center for Atomic, Molecular, Optical Sciences and Technologies at Tirupati. Tirupati is the only town in India which has got an IIT as well as an ISER. I believe all of you are familiar with both the system of institutions. ISER is for science what IITs are for engineering. And Tirupati has both. So we set up a Center for Atomic, Molecular, Optical Sciences and Technologies because this is the domain field from which the technologies emerge. Quantum mechanics grew hand in hand with atomic physics about 100 years ago. And these sciences are driving these technologies. I also am affiliated with the RV University. For some reason, this university has come out of the trust which is called as the Rashtriya Vidyalaya Trust, but the university is not called as the Rashtriya Vidyalaya University. I have no idea why it is so, but it is registered only as RV University and not as Rashtriya Vidyalaya University. So we have set up a Center for Quantum Sciences and Technologies at the RV University. Now going ahead, let me tell you that this center has some very learned people on its advisory council from all over the world. Science knows no borders, and we have some of the smartest people in the world who are advising us in developing the research programs and the technologies over here. I'm sharing a slide about the formation of this center. This was 4 years ago on the eve of independence on 14th August 2000. We were right in the middle of COVID, so this was a video conference event, online event. Dr. Arvinda Mitra, who was Scientific Secretary, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, inaugurated it. There were distinguished people from TFR, Inter-University Accelerator Center, Raman Research Institute, and so on, who are amongst the founding members of this center. Here are some projects which are being undertaken, like development of photonic and atomic vapor-based entangled photon sources. Now, these are some of the technologies which are needed to drive the future. And as you notice, the participants over here are not only from IIT Tirupati, but also from other institutions. IIT Delhi is here, Harishchandra Research Institute, Dr. Aditi Sende, the Bhatnagar Awardee, one of the leading scientists in the country. This has a budget of about 15 crores. So there is some decent sized money which is involved in these projects. Nothing big for NVIDIA. There are projects on novel cryogenic gas phase spectroscopy scheme to explore ultra-fast dynamics of complex biological and astrophysical molecules. So these research projects are destined to make a major impact on the frontiers of science and technology. Even doing these experiments and as you develop them. Here is another one, quantum technology and photons, with photons and electrons. This is led by our collaborators from IIT Patna. They are driving this program. This has a slightly modest budget, but I mention it for a very specific reason. So I mentioned these three centers, and these affiliate centers that we are talking about go elsewhere. We are soon going to have a project going on at Mysuru, which is one of our immediate matter of immediate interest. Our collaborators are at IIT Madras, at Harishchandra Research Institute at Prayagraj, IIT Patna, Physical Research Laboratory at Ahmedabad, IIT Jodhpur, Jaipur National University, and many other places. I'm not showing everything because the dots get larger than the map. So I'm showing only some of the illustrative places which are involved. Envision India 2047. And this is a transformation that all of us, and particularly the youngsters over here, will be driving in the very near future. 4-pronged effort is required. I'm sure you are all aware of a number of faculty development projects, faculty development programs, workshops, which are being carried out across India. And they run over like 10 hours, 20 hours of teaching, acquaint students and faculty in some domains. I think what we are looking for is a faculty development program developed by the Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies, which will be very different and very comprehensive. And it will be very different from any of these because, as we were talking yesterday, many of these programs are only teaching students and faculty members also just a little bit of Python and a little bit of accessing Quizzkit and so on. And they don't grasp any real understanding of quantum entanglement. They have no idea about quantum physics. They have no idea about Bell's theorems. And learning this will not enable us to have youngsters who will push the frontiers of science and technology. So we are very proud that we have every technology available in India, but we are also very concerned that much of this technology has been produced elsewhere and we have adapted it. there is very little that we have developed in India. Means, of course, people like, means we have this Hanuman that we will be talking about. NVIDIA is also making a big, contributing in a big way to developing these technologies. And I'm sure that the future will be different, so that we will be developing these technologies. But we need people who will know about quantum computing, not just by learning how to run a code using Qiskit. And what we are proposing is the development of a 2-semester to begin with. I will come to its expanded version a bit later. But a 2-semester faculty development program, because first you need to train the trainer. So you need the faculty development program, and these are going to be needed across India, not only across India, but also elsewhere in the world, because many people are going to need to learn this, and those who are learning only how to use the IBM Qiskit will be left behind. So we want to develop these programs in which faculty at Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies will contribute lectures. We do have some faculty, Utpalji is here, but we probably need more, and we can have some guest lecturers also, but we will coordinate it over here. The fulcrum will be at WIPS. So that is the first idea that I want to propose. Second will be to develop an undergraduate program, a BTech in quantum engineering. And there are some programs of this kind, but not many. There are very few, as a matter of fact. The references that you see on the screen is a paper in Nature just last year, November 2023. And there is 2 other references here: Building a Quantum Engineering Undergraduate Program, an undergraduate course on quantum computing, which is from the University of California. That is a recent paper published earlier this year. So these are very recent developments. Some universities are making an attempt in a small way. I'm proposing that we have a full-fledged undergraduate degree, BTech, in quantum engineering here at the Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. The third thing is we need people who will actually be engaged. Means experiential learning is what Udayji talked about. And you have to be able to do experiments with your own hands. And these are not easy experiments. You do not have access to labs. You can't do it. You can't learn the engineering skills by just running some Qiskit codes. And you really have to get into this in a big way. You need skills in software as well as hardware. So we need to build a very large pool of skilled professionals who have experience not just in coding but doing the engineering. Because once you understand the Bell's theorem and quantum entanglement and so on, there is a huge amount of engineering. You have to be able to do soldering, you have to do so many experiments to have these repeaters so that you can employ this technology for your use. And you have to be able to do these experiments. So the third step after developing the faculty development program and developing an undergraduate degree program is to build a quantum laboratory, which is going to take some time, some money, but not a whole lot. And it is something which can be done in a few years' time. And that is the promise that we really want to take advantage of. And we can do it right here. We need a quantum laboratory. We can make a beginning with a small amount, means something like 5 crores or so will be a good beginning in the first year. and then in subsequent phases, we can expand it. So we can, begin with single photon sources and so on, and, slowly expand the laboratory. This is where I mentioned earlier that IIT Patna's project, which I mentioned earlier. So there are experimentalists who I collaborate with, and they will be involved. Means I'm basically a theoretical atomic physicist, but I work very closely with experimentalists who can provide and who will provide leadership. They've got a very nice proposal toward this program. And I think this is my last slide, because what all this will integrate into is a Center for Translational Research in Artificial Intelligence and Quantum Technologies, which is what will drive all of these programs. So this will drive the faculty development program, this will drive the undergraduate program, it will drive the quantum laboratory, and some of the students over here will be able to participate in this. And this is something which you can begin to do now, not tomorrow, but within a year or two. You can make a beginning, and in 5 years, you will be way ahead of the rest of the country. And by 2047, you would have played perhaps the biggest role toward Viksit Bharat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deshmukh sir. Dr. Deshmukh sir, I think, in fact, you should know that we were the first. I think Utpalji and Deshmukh sir were the architects of the first announcement that we made, first announcement in the industry that VIPS is going to have a center of excellence for quantum research, AI and quantum research technologies. And I think Dr. Deshmukh's proposal has elevated that to the next level. And I'm an impatient person, so I would think we should not wait for 2 years. I think we should get this done in 1 year, right? By next academic year, we should have that, at least the infrastructure part. So my strong belief, being from the industry, one thing I know is there is no dearth of money in this country. When you demonstrate value proposition, investors will come forward. 100% sure about this. And I have enough examples on that. So people keep saying no investors, no money, because there's no innovation in that project. But this is a path-breaking project, first of its kind. We can find ways to find investors. Okay? Thank you, sir. Thank you for that again. And so the Hanuman project has been intriguing. I mean, I've been always wondering what this Hanuman, because there's a Hanuman Mandir, one of biggest Hanuman Mandirs right next to my house. If you know Bangalore, the tallest Hanuman statue is near ISKCON temple, which is where I stay. So when I saw this Hanuman being compared with ChatGPT, I was wondering what this Hanuman is about. And I have been following this Hanuman for last almost a year. And they have collaborated with Bharat GPT of IIT Mumbai. And I was very, very happy to get connected. And he's a great friend now. He's a doctor. And his wife is also a doctor. So very active members. And the biggest thing, forget the innovation, technology. The biggest reason why I like Dr. Vishnuvardhan is not because he's a great AI scientist and AI innovator or a great doctor, orthopedic, because he has sacrificed a fantastic life in America and come back to India to build Viksit Bharat. Let's, applaud that, effort. So I'd like to invite to unravel the mystery around Hanuman. Hanuman as a figure itself is so mysterious. So thank you, Dr. Vishnuvardhan, for coming here.
Yeah, it's a great honor to be here. You can hear me, right? Yeah. It's a great honor to be here, and first I would want to thank Professor Udayanath for calling me here. Last time when we met, he told that he works as Professor of Practice here in VIPS, and then he said that we are going to start Center of Excellence in Quantum Computing. I was really blown away by the fact that an university in India is thinking about this, because I come from MIT, and we take pride in the fact that we are working a lot on quantum computing. So when I heard from him, I said like I would want to come, and then VIPS. I asked what is VIPS. He said like Vivekananda Institute of Professional Studies. I said like bas naam hi kafi hai, you know, like if I'm standing here, it's because of Swami Vivekananda. I will tell why. Before that, I have to thank Dr. Vatsji and his son for setting up such an amazing institute here, calling me here, and it's a great honor to have met Professor Deshmukhji. Thank you very much. So why Vivekananda? My father comes from a very small village, and he was a very intelligent person. He was topper in his state in 10th standard, but after that he could not pursue his studies because of the economic background of where he came from. But later in life, once he went to Kanyakumari and he bought a book on Vivekananda's autobiography. It was written in Telugu, and he read it, and he says that that was the biggest, game-changing thing in his life, because that's when he realized like we can do much more. Like we don't need degree to do that, and that was a game-changing thing for him. He came to a city, he started business. And then he established a mining business in a place called Ballari in Karnataka, where I was born. And but he always remembered Vivekananda. And when I was in school, he virtually made me read complete works of Swami Vivekananda. So he took me to Kanyakumari, huge inspiration. And he always used to tell that, see, today we have some wealth, but wealth is Lakshmi, like it can be there with anyone, but Saraswati will be there only with people, who are educated, and nobody can steal Saraswati. So he always wanted me to not pursue business, but do something, in education, and go to the best possible place where education is given. So that's how I've been very fascinated with all the universities and colleges. So that took me to a lot of places. I'm a doctor, so I went to Manipal, which is one of the top institutes in India when it comes to healthcare. Then I have even a degree in data science from IIT, Triple IT Bangalore. Then I went to MIT because I wanted to study in top university in the world. I also have worked in Harvard, consulted in Harvard Medical School. So education has been the passion, but life was great. I have built some great companies in Boston. This is the third company which I have built, currently Visi, and fourth is SML. But something happened in 2022 which really made me come back to India. So it was peak COVID, right? So I met a professor from IIT who had come to give a lecture in MIT. And we were talking, so he mentioned that generative AI is going to be the next biggest thing in the world. I come from health tech background, so I have built companies only in health tech. I have not done something specific in computer science. So, and this is a great opportunity for India, because 25 years back when the internet revolution happened, we didn't have that kind of foundation to leverage on that. We did great. All the Infosys, Wipros, and TCS of the world have been built on that revolution. But if you see, it has always been sending engineers from here to work in US companies, or else bringing back the work from US. And we have done, like say, I can say 5% of our population has really benefited. If Bangalore is become world's fastest growing city, that's because of that. Before that, Bangalore was a pensioners' paradise. So even now, like Gurgaon, all the like we have done that, but 90% of India still lives in small places. Our per capita GDP is just $2,600, which is like 100 more. I think we are ranked somewhere around 120 in the world. So overall, we can say that we are fifth largest economy, but when it comes to each person, it's very less. So we discussed like how we can really leverage this revolution, because we didn't want this time India not to miss doing something very foundational, because we can. So the biggest problem we saw there 2 years back was large language models. The generative AI which we are doing will always come in English, right? Everything is built in US. So I will tell one interesting fact. Udayanaji was referring that WhatsApp has Meta, right? So who has built Meta? My wife's brother. He's the chief scientist there. Every large generative AI model currently has Indian connection. I will tell how. Then there is a Twitter company which has a platform called Grok, and it is also built by one of my juniors in MIT. He was just an undergrad when I was doing my master's in MIT, so we both know each other. And then obviously Microsoft, Google has both CEOs who come from India. So virtually, if you see every generative AI platform which has become big, and there is another interesting company which is coming. It's called also Grok. The CTO is again happens to be an Indian. So virtually, AI has a lot of India connection, and we are Hanuman, the only company in Asia who have a large foundational, only company in Asia. So again, it's an Indian connection, right? So Indians have done well when we went abroad. I went to MIT, so I feel that, okay, I did. But like we said, this time can we do something in India where after 10 years, when quantum computing comes, it should come from India rather than say, oh, we bought the technology, we built an application over it. That was the thought. And I said, okay, it's a great thing. It's a great vision. So let us do that from India. I came back to India. We set up a center in IIT Mumbai. That's how, all the Bharat GPT concept itself came. On that day, we sat and we said we'll write a proposal on how we can build generative AI foundation for India. It's a 140-page proposal which we sent to government, which we also sent to Reliance. We sent to virtually who is who in India to just see if we can get the leverage. So that's how this whole my journey started back to India. And it's been a wonderful journey. When I came back, I was really very apprehensive whether can this be possible, will people support, whether we will get investment. I'll tell you, like building generative AI is a very, very, very expensive game. NVIDIA knows it. That's why they're the world's biggest company today, out of nowhere, right? 2 years, 3 years back, we were thinking it is just a gaming company, and today they have bid Microsoft, because generative AI is the future. I will tell why. The sheer fact that now today, if I'm working with technology, I have to use this computer, this keypad. That has been since 1970s when personal computers came. Last 50 years, nothing has changed. We use mobile, still we have to use a keypad. But generative AI has that capability where it removes that barrier between human and technology. Directly, I can talk into the machine, right? You don't need to type anything. And virtually, I can talk into the machine in my language, not just I need to use English or that keys in English. Or I can just talk. I can ask it anything. That's what going to come later. Like, why do we need to type 10 keys to book a ticket? You can just tell I want to go to Bangalore from here. Book me a ticket. So it will be done. You will see all that coming up in next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's what all the companies are trying to build using generative AI. And it can be in all your language. You don't need to even talk to it in English. Somebody was asking me, English is what he said. Hindi and English. That's how we are speaking. That it will also learn. It will also learn everything. So you don't need anything in the middle. So you can just talk to your technology. So this is a big game-changing thing. But to build that, it's super expensive. And American companies building it will always do it in English because that's what is the major language in the world, and virtually we said that in India, 85% people don't speak English. So how can we make technology accessible to them was the thought behind Hanuman. So we said, can we build large language models in Indian languages? Currently, if you see, ChatGPT can also speak other Indian languages, many other, but if they're all translated, they're very textbooky. Today I was coming here to VIPS from New Delhi, and my driver was following Google Maps. It was speaking in English, and he missed a road, came in a very small gully somewhere. It's a Mercedes car, we got stuck. And I asked him, why did you, he said, thoda miss ho gaya, sir. I said, why don't you use Hindi, the Google keeps telling, right, go to right, left. He said, हिंदी अच्छा नहीं लगता सर, वो बहुत आर्टिफिशियल, he said, वो ठीक नहीं लगता, इसलिए अंग्रेजी उतना मालूम नहीं है, फिर भी वही ले ले, that sounds at least, natural. That's the problem with translation, right? It doesn't look natural. If you talk to it, you feel, let me use English. This is like not great. So that's the problem we are trying to solve by making, technology speak like how I speak. So the first language model which we'll be releasing is Telugu, which is my mother tongue. It can speak 22 different dialects of Telugu. So virtually in Andhra and Telangana, where it's spoken, every district speaks Telugu in a very different way. So we are trying to do that. So we will be demoing it on September 5th in the Global AI Investors Meet, where you can speak in any type of accent. Virtually it will speak back to you and also talk back. Something similar is happening for Hindi, where we are trying at least 40 different dialects, and then for all the other languages. For that, we needed to do a lot of experiments. That's what the innovation and research comes in, because these things can't be just deployed from somewhere and then built. We needed to do a lot of experiments. I have at least 38 researchers who are mostly from IITs, and few of them are PhDs who have been working on this since many years. We have done a lot of experiments, and doing experiments is also expensive in generative AI. But the great thing is, why I'm bringing this experimentation part is, after I come here, from morning, chairman showed me all the college, most of the school here, and all the great departments. Last was the computer science. First we started with the other campus. And the first one was the legal thing. Legal department which is there, the legal school. See, when we are building generative AI for India, there are 5 big domains which are very, very sovereign for India. Legal. Whole legal is India specific, right? It can't be like, you can't apply Indian law in other countries law will not apply in India. Imagine a ChatGPT, it will never be great in Indian law. So India has to build its own legal, large language model and a foundational model. And the biggest problem is India has some, I think, 4 crore pending cases. I work with a lot of legal luminaries with some high courts, and also I see the kind of number of cases they have. It's humongous. It's impossible to solve at this pace. If they have to give judgments for all the cases, it will take hundreds of years. That's the biggest problem for virtually everyone who has to go to court. So that's a big problem which can be really revolutionized using AI, because we can automate most of it. We can make life of judges, lawyers, everyone in the legal union very easy. Even for us, many times we don't know the law, like we don't have access to it. That can be really changed. That's one thing. Education, healthcare, banking, all these are sovereign, applications which have to be built in India. We can't use a model built across the world and bring it down to India. So I feel an institution which has engineering school, which has legal school, is something rare. Like if I go to IIT, I don't get an expert in legal. I will get great engineers. If I go to Nalsar, I will get great legal luminaries, but I don't get engineering. This is one of the few places where I'm seeing is a huge scope where we can build these vertical domains, especially for legal is what I feel, where we can do a lot of experiments, bring this kind of data sets into the large language model, and then build India-specific domain, where everyone can access, all lawyers can access, courts can access, people can build applications on it. Because if you see, legal has not been touched by digital revolution. It's still books. Lawyers take a lot of time to write notes. It's done mostly manual. That's the reason it's become so slow also, so many, because the technology revolution has not happened, but generative has a huge opportunity here. And our vision is not today's generative AI. Our vision has always been like, if we build a foundation that today if we do generative AI here, in 10 years India can do quantum computing. That has always been our vision. If we don't do it today, after 10 years quantum computing revolution will come and still we'll be, we should have started 10 years back. That is what will happen. I have seen China. They were nowhere 20, 25 years back in any tech field. Today, virtually, they're publishing more papers than any other US in generative AI. So all the great papers are coming from China because started like 20 years or 10 years back. Today, if we start, we'll surely do great work after 10 years. This quantum computing, some major breakthrough will come from India. Today, we have built generative models on transformer technology, which was a breakthrough from Google in 2018 from US. Nothing from India. Though we have the highest number of developers, we bring back technology because that research doesn't happen and it takes years. So today, that's why today quantum computing is not big. So it will be applied in real terms only after a decade, but it has to begin today. After 10 years, we can't say, oh, now quantum computing is happening, now I will start something. Again, we'll be back. We'll be back and we will only be importing technology again from US. And NVIDIA will not come from again India, it will be in US only. So that's the intent behind why we are doing Hanuman. And it's a great opportunity to just see the great work that's happening. One thing I'm really amazed with this whole campus is, I have worked in Apollo Hospital. I was heading some of very big hospitals in India before I became an engineer and then turned into this field. And this campus exactly looked like a hospital. The impeccable cleanliness, never seen it anywhere. Like amazing. Like I thought whether this is a hospital or a university campus. It's been so clean. The labs were like amazing. Every lab was so well kept. I have seen most of the labs which they shouldn't, and everything was just like how we manage our ICUs or OTs. So it reminded me that. So very rarely you'll see a campus which is that clean, and so it just shows that the chairman is a doctor and he has brought that quality into the educational institution. So it's again a real privilege to have address to this and have met a great man like Vatsji and seen this campus. My father is not there. You would be really proud that somebody has started such a great institution in Swami Vivekananda's name. And any which way Hanuman you will feel you might want to associate with Hanuman. I would be very happy to do that. I see millions of jobs coming out of generative AI from India, and a great engineering school which really works well with a company, the only company in Asia who is building foundational models, should not have any problem getting you hundreds of jobs in this field. It's going to be a great time for India. It's real Viksit Bharat. Don't get worried about LTCG, CGC or whatever that government has done with 0.5% taxes. It's a great time to be in India because I'm seeing US, I'm seeing Japan, I'm seeing China. I work with all these countries. We are the only economy which is doing really well. All others are really not doing that great. So it's a bad time for the world, world war kind of thing is happening. COVID just hit us. It's a chaotic time, but still I feel India is the only country who is stable. It's, like after 2 days after a kind of flood in Delhi, if I'm talking like this, you might feel like, ye kya baat kar raha hai? But I'm seeing the world. We are one of the few countries who are really doing well in spite of all these problems. So it's a great time to be in India, and next 20 years are going to be for India. So Viksit Bharat will surely come when it's 2047. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It was great talking to you.
I think when such a learned leader who's a doctor, engineer, now education is innovator, so many hats he wears, I think is validating that Viksit Bharat is going to surely happen. I mean, I also went to Harvard, so I was amazed. I was thinking, when will India see this? I went about 10 years back. So I think there are many institutions, and VIPS is one such example. Because if you see the Harvard Business School, Harvard University model, they have various blocks, right? One is the Tata block, and there is another one which is a Harvard Medical School, then there's a Harvard Law School. So various other like buildings. So I would, if you look at VIPS, there is a law school, there is a management school, now there's an engineering school. Sir, the only thing that is missing is you being a doctor. VIPS medical school is missing. So I think, let us have that in the next. So before I came to VIPS, it's there in my vision for the next 10 years to contribute to healthcare as well. So we will see how that happens. Whether it happens here or outside in Mysuru or somewhere, we will make it happen. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Vishnuvardhan, for coming here. He's such a busy man. He's so much in demand. Literally he flies like Hanuman all over the place. So I think at the end of the session, maybe if time permits, we'll have a Q&A. If any questions you can ask. I would like to invite another young friend. If, NVIDIA, the MD is my colleague, ex-colleague. We worked together for 6 years. And I'm amazed from just a low-profile company about 2-3 years back. Low profile means they were in a smaller segment. They were mostly into the gaming. So Vishal Dupar is my ex-colleague. His super boss, I would say. So we worked in another legendary company called DEC, Digital Equipment Corporation. Now it has merged with HP. So I met him last week. Incidentally, even Somnath was in Bangalore that time, and he is actually studied in Bangalore, based in Delhi now. So I want to thank Somnath. So earlier his boss was supposed to come, and last minute he had a request from Hyderabad to deliver a talk there for a large public audience. So he had to go there, and then Somnath is another, I would say, young engineer like his boss Jigar. So thank you, Somnath, for coming. So kindly share your thoughts about, one is you visited VIPS campus, share whether it matches up to NVIDIA's own vision of collaborating with institutions. Okay?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I think it's been a long day. It's a pleasure to be here. I'll thank Chairman Sir for giving a fantastic visit to the campus. It's been 16 years, like 15 plus years since I graduated from my BTech, which I did in Bangalore. I'm an electronics communication graduate by education. And I was just, revisiting my college days. But just to give you a sense, this is the infrastructure which you have created, the labs you have created, it's like world class. It's like, because I have had the privilege to visit University of Florida recently, because that is one of our partner company. They have a large NVIDIA installation base. So I saw, I think, this is like international. So great job. And also, just to mention the lab which I saw, like where from sand to fabrication, I think that concept is very close to my heart, because I'm part of NVIDIA. We do a lot of, fabrication, chip designing, and amazing thing. I think this is the right way to do, to create the infrastructure, to give it to the next generation of workforce, right? So I will not take much time, because the amazing speaker which you had. Yeah, so that's why I'll not speak about NVIDIA. What I wanted to do, I think, I don't know if it is visible or not, just wanted to give a brief, walkthrough of the compute revolution happened, right? Like as, the previous speaker said, like NVIDIA was a small company and then suddenly we become very big. But just wanted to, give a view that what we are doing throughout the day. So in 1964, so we talk about AI, ML, generative AI is very popular, right? we will be hearing this term from everywhere. When I say everywhere, it is not IT, it is in everywhere. Like, you will hear a lot in media, the media bites we get in the evening, right? So you'll hear from there also. So this is where it started, where IBM introduced mainframe system in 1964. If you trace back, you'll find AI was there. The basic fundamentals of AI was there, right? Then we come to 1995, Windows came. Again, another revolution happened, because that is the moment the systems became friendly, user-friendly, because we are very comfortable with Windows, right? If we give a Linux console, then it's all command, right? So at that time, if you see the email spam management, the ML was being used, or machine learning was being used, okay? And we come back, and this is the time, like 1993, NVIDIA was founded. Our foundation, like the founder, like Jensen, believed that though data or text is being used, going forward or in future, the multimedia, the image, what we see, what we talk, that is going to be bigger. A normal computer, like normal computing system, which like the CPU-based system, will not be able to process that data. And the GPU invention started in 1993. Of course, it has gone through evaluation, but we created a strong ecosystem. It is not only the software or hardware, we created a software layer. And we survived till 30 years. We did a couple of groundbreaking work like the accelerated computing. We created a new library called CUDA, right, which gives you the parallel computing. I think I'll not explain, I'll bore you with the technology deep dive of things, but there are two different kind of computing. The normal CPU works in a serial computing, and then the parallel computing works in a GPU model. So all AI, ML, generative AI, even quantum, it needs that kind of computing performance which can support parallel computing. We were the first company to introduce CUDA to the world, and then AlexNet happened. AlexNet is like the first contact is a photographic competition. Deep learning model generated an image which helped to own that particular competition. That is where the deep learning concept was introduced. Again, that particular project was developed on a NVIDIA chip. Then we come back and we see the success, or we know AI because the introduction of ChatGPT, right? It came, like, we had a very completely different experience. We can generate data, we can generate text, we can generate images, multimedia. We never thought. We are experienced with Google search. We do some search. This gives some, response back. But it never created a new content, what a human can create. So we are very proud to say that in 2016, our first system, the DGX, was given to the ChatGPT founder. Even Elon Musk used to be one of the board members. The photo is there. And at the same time, we introduced transformer model. So whatever you see, the transformation, like in generative AI, you ask, let me create me an infographics for this presentation. I've created a couple of slides while coming to this particular institute in the cab using Meta LLM platform. I'll be very frank with you. And it helps actually to give quickly. And this transformation helps to generate different kind of data, right? And then when 2022 ChatGPT launched, like it blown the mind. It was the fastest downloaded application, 100 million plus downloads in 3 months. And people understood, okay, the AI, ML or generative AI is not a myth, it is happening. And it happened. We are very privileged, and we are like very grateful that we could help this particular journey of computing evolution. And today, as the companies or the many startups are coming up, if we see, we call it as an industrial revolution. Why we call it an industrial revolution? Every industrial revolution has given a new set of product, new companies, revenue, and job opportunity, which we can see in every company today are trying to do something around AI or generative AI. As Dr. Vishnu Vardhan said, that they are trying to create an indigenous LLM model. Like that, you will see every startup is trying to do something around AI and ML, okay? So this is our journey, and because the journey is enabled by or empowered by NVIDIA, that's why I think today we are having such kind of demand, and that is why I think today we have such big name. Or else, if I come back inside, because I'm an engineer by nature, right? As I work in a team, we have a very young team. Like, most of my team members are less than 4 years old, because the concept is very new. The theories are very new. Like, who have studied convolution theories, who knows matrix multiplication, those are not there when I studied engineering, right? They can only understand DL or machine learning or generative AI. So we are a very young company, and our vision is that we want to create something which is sustainable and which will change the way we see life, which will make Earth a better place with lot of job generation and good product generation. So that's what we do, and I'll just skip a couple of slides. So now I'll come to what we are doing for India. With Indian government, we are working or consulting for a project called Sovereign AI. Now, why Sovereign AI is important? Every nation is trying to create an ecosystem around AI because that is creating jobs, that is creating startups, that is bringing a lot of investment, and every nation needs their own infrastructure, own large language model, own generative AI ecosystem. Because if you see like ChatGPT, Llama, they have trained, as Vishnu Vardhan mentioned, right? They have trained on English. Now that English will be different. If you see English in British, English in US, it is different. As we work with a lot of model customization and training, right? What we experience, the way we write English, the system which is trained on American English doesn't understand. So this is indigenous problem. This is our problem. So that is a clear digital north and digital south barrier. To mitigate that gap, we have to train here. It is not like we have many languages, that language has to be trained. Even our English is different. The way we understand or we mention the English, that is changed. So that is why the platform like Hanuman, we have another project named Bhasini. So Bhasini is an initiative from Government of India where we are actively engaged. So we are training multiple models. And as we have trained like 9 different languages in that, we are bringing the dialects from those languages also. I think similar kind of thing even Hanuman is trying to do. I think we have to support the Indian apps, Indian innovation, so that we are creating something indigenous. And we are keeping our product inside the country and we are outsourcing it. Rather, we are just becoming a service-based country. We are becoming a product and innovation center for the world. So that is the vision, okay? And that's my vision, that's I believe. And I think that is the vision of India, and that is the reason in innovation, productivity, science, and culture, we are seeing a lot of investment happening, lot of research happening, and lot of initiatives are being taken care of, right? So I'll just skip this. So this is our high-level framework. What we do, we create a robust infrastructure. As the speaker was saying, the infrastructure is very expensive. So government is trying to invest a significant amount, something around 10,000 plus crore rupees. Government has thought of creating a cluster. That cluster will be distributed. That cluster can be set up by the premium government organizations like CDAC, NIC, or it also can be distributed to the educational institutions or to the premium research institution who have that appetite, who have that researcher base, who have that skill set, and who have that initiatives. So many of the prominent organizations have submitted their approach paper, approach note, what they are trying to do, and they can attract fund from that particular initiative, like that fund which government is creating, right? So a robust compute infrastructure with world-class GPUs, and then on top of that, the important thing is that what we have done, since we are doing it from last 30 years, we have created a complete software ecosystem. How good is your machine is not as good until you have a compatible software. So the differentiation which we have, like I'll talk for my company, is that we have worked for so long, we have experienced so many use cases, we have worked with so many customers, we have created that complete ecosystem. And if you see the ecosystem, this ecosystem impact all walk of industries. It can be from the medical to the advanced physics and physics research. Even in quantum, we have our complete quantum simulation, because quantum system is very expensive. If you see, it needs minus 84 degrees centigrade of temperature. There is only one quantum system in the world, which is in IBM lab, right? But to give an experience, how it looks like, how it feels like, we have created a smaller prototype. So you get the complete system. So government is trying to create such kind of ecosystem so that we can use it. The academicians can use it, the researcher can use it, the startup can use it, right? Now to do this thing, okay, fine, the government has given you the infrastructure. What do we need? We need a workforce. And if we need the future workforce, we need to create a skilled ecosystem. This is where the role of education institutions comes to the play. Okay, so what we do, we engage, like I particularly look after HER, Higher Education and Research. I lead this charter in India. So what we do, we help institutions to create a AI center of excellence. And we look for 3 different areas, like innovation gap, skill gap, and research gap. Why we mention that? Because today, if you see the innovation gap and the research gap, the innovation comes out mostly out of the IITs. I'll just name it because it is there, right? At least 90% innovations are coming from IITs. The startups are from IITs. And if you see the research gap, the investment which they attract, IIT gets the maximum fund. If you go from a private institutions, you don't get that. So that we have to create such kind of environment and infrastructure so that government also come, private player also come, and they invest through our incubation program or inception program, right? So what we do, and the third thing is skill gap. In skill gap, we help the education institutions to create a curriculum which is advanced, which has like the latest AI, ML, and generative AI curriculums technologies. This is from our global experience and the partnership with the global organizations, and create a lab, hands-on lab. We give the complete lab curriculum, lab kits, and also the train the trainer program. While we create a fantastic syllabus, it is not helping until unless the faculties who are going to deliver, they are trained. So as part of our, this is our AI program initiative, as part of our AI COE program initiative, we have one thing called as Train the Trainer program, which we give as part of NVIDIA Deep Learning Institute. We conduct faculty development program. We train them with the latest technology stack so that the curriculum which is getting incorporated or the teaching kit which we are sharing, the faculty can go and deliver, right? And apart from that, what we do, we understand that AI is very important for the stream of AI. I think you have a couple of AI streams, right? In the stream of computer science. But if you see the non-STEM subjects, like civil, automobile, mechanical, it is impacting everywhere. The modern designs, like the design schools, are being developed on basis of AI, because digital twin and omniverse, this is not myth. Every designs are happening basis on digital twin, which gives you accuracy. Like you are designing a prototype in your system when the data is being captured from a real equipment. Let's say there is a car which is running in the road, right? So there will be a lot of wears and tears, right? Now those cars are censored, and that information is coming to your system. Our automobile engineer is making the next generation design. That improvisation will happen from the real time data which is coming from the field, right? So that is giving you more accuracy, better product, sustainable product, and also it reduces the overall cost of the ownership of the project, right? So those things are important. So we have elective curriculums which can extend the subject to the non-STEM divisions, and then we conduct a lot of workshops, boot camps, and hackathons. Many of our product which we have incorporated in our actual product, are outcome of hackathon. We conduct hackathon across India, across globe, where the young mind comes, they put their possible research use case or the outcome. We support them, we mentor them, and few of those research has become successful and become part of our whole software portfolio. So fantastic things. And to do that, of course you need a world-class infrastructure. So for education, we give a solution in a box, so that it doesn't need a robust data center infrastructure. It have all the software stack you need. It have all the programs which I mentioned in the previous slide. So this is we call DGX, and this DGX is used by this is a global reference case. I'm using the global slide. But in India, if you see all the IITs we have 200 plus installation base. And the recent one, if you might have seen that one of the private institute in northern India have created a very large lab, and due to that lab, they have collaborated with 7 foreign universities, and they are attracting a lot of researcher and like the modern workforce to the campus. So I think it is time that we should revamp the overall curriculum. We should have lab like the way you have created the other labs. We should have an AI lab, and these labs is not only for AI. So our vision that this particular system can support the quantum simulation also. So one system can support up to 36 qubits of quantum. I think that is pretty good to start up with, right? Because above that, the thing changes, right? So that's what we do, and we are working with many of the organizations. It is not only for making some enterprise product, but also making the world a better place. So before I finish, what I have done, I tried to capture. I tried to capture few of the good use cases we are doing, so that it gives him some idea that what we are doing here. I'll just play a small video, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes. Can you put that thing? And then I'll conclude. audible?
I am a visionary. Illuminating galaxies.
So this work we have done the lab name and other things are mentioned there at the below you can see. And the papers are available in public medium.
I am a visionary. Illuminating galaxies to witness the birth of stars. And sharpening our understanding of extreme weather events. I am a helper, guiding the blind through a crowded world.
I was thinking about running to the store.
And giving voice to those who cannot speak.
Do not make me laugh.
I am a transformer, harnessing gravity to store renewable power. And paving the way towards unlimited clean energy for us all. I am a trainer, teaching robots to assist, to watch out for danger, and help save lives. I am a healer, providing a new generation of cures and new levels of patient care.
That I am allergic to penicillin. Is it still okay to take the medications?
Definitely. These antibiotics don't contain penicillin, so it's perfectly safe for you to take them.
I am a navigator, generating virtual scenarios to let us safely explore the real world and understand every decision. I even helped write the script. Breathe life into the words en muchos idiomas y escribí la música. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
I think that summarizes some of our work which we are doing, and that's how the future is going to be. Very interesting, and I am hopeful we have a better and sustainable future. Thank you very much for giving the time.
Thank you, Somnath. Really appreciate. I think we are happy to be in the VIPS should be happy to be in the radar of two great companies, Hanuman and NVIDIA. Hopefully, I think as we are committed, the next 12 months we will have something which will be also world-class, like all great universities that you listed down. I would like to see VIPS, you displaying VIPS logo and whenever you go to other colleges, okay? So I'm hopeful of that. We'll find some creative ways of collaborating, and I think I am repeating one thing. I know some great institutions have brought some mega hardware. You can do nothing with that hardware without the great people sitting in the first row, as well as some of you who will go through the FDPs and various other programs that companies like NVIDIA have. So that makes the difference. It's not the beautiful the boxes that will sit in an air-conditioned room. I have seen that. I am a first-generation infrastructure person, right? I built some of the biggest networks in the country. And I also want to tell you one thing. India may be lagging behind in certain areas, but India is a great greenfield opportunity, which means when we build something, it will be the most advanced system. When we build some great highways, it will be better than the freeways and the highways in America. I have great examples of that. When we built Reliance Jamnagar, Reliance Petroleum Jamnagar network, it was the world's best network because it was a 5,000 node gigabit network. Those days, even America did not have that. So that's the way I think you look at it. Don't look at what we did not have. Look at the future that what we are going to have, and at a rapid pace. I just want to end this great session, or rather, before we, do some formalities, which I am always an optimist, okay? I am always an optimist. I see people, some very, very distinguished persons, always complaining about some tax, some GST, somebody got a notice for 32,000 crores. All these are going to happen. We have no control on that, okay? But I see some great leaders, I don't want to take names, in the industry, always complaining, always cribbing about what is not there. We don't have control on all those things, right? I always believe, in my own thinking, I'm always an optimist. I'm always think positively. And I also am a spiritual person, believe in divinity. When God gives you challenges, it gives challenges only to people who can solve those challenges. So when we have Viksit Bharat, I've experienced that. It's not that life and my career has been hunky-dory always. Everybody goes through challenges. But I always thought, God has given me a challenge, and I'm 100% sure He'll show me the way. So that's the approach we must move forward, whether it is AI or quantum or whatever great technologies that we are going to implement. Finally, the quote, which I use it very frequently, is, it's a great fashion today to be a pessimist. When you're doing something great, somebody will come and say, you can't do this. Somebody will, either when you're on Twitter, somebody will troll you and flood you with negative things on why this is not going to be successful. It's a fashion. So I keep using this quote, pessimists may look fashionable, but only optimists create the future. Remember this. Always only the optimists will create the future. So it doesn't matter. I think you may have negative thoughts, you may have a little bit of pessimism in certain things, but overall, be optimistic. There are some two great people, the chairman, all vouched for Viksit Bharat. And Viksit Bharat is going to be built by you. I mean, people like you and the students and the faculty, you will all be building Viksit Bharat. I think, as I said, gray hair or no hair people are the mentors for all of you. Okay? Thank you very much. And I think we have some formalities. I started my opening slide was about the tiger. I think it's most appropriate we hand over the book published by Dr. Vats himself on, I think sir, come in the front. Please come in the front. Come here, come. So we are late by almost more than 1 hour. But because it's not often that we have two great experts, they will come again. They will definitely be in the campus again. But sir, any, yes, concluding thoughts?
Good afternoon, everybody. So my deepest gratitude and regards to my veneration and regards for Professor Deshmukh Pranachandraji. Pranachandraji is a beacon light. He is the one who shows us, new vistas, new opportunities. And he's an erudite scholar with very modest dispensation, looks very simple, but solves very complex problems. Uday is my mood elevator. When I'm a little worried and tensed about the finances and everything, he takes off all my worries. So it's a great mood elevator. When I subscribed to the old school of medicine, when Professor B.C. Roy was there, Professor Vidhan Chandra Roy. How many of you know Professor Vidhan Chandra Roy? Yes, you, Chakravarti, Utpal must be knowing, you too must be knowing, Somnath may be knowing. So it's a great privilege of hosting two guests here, Vishnu Vardhan, Dr. Vishnu Vardhan. I'm very happy. I'm strong at all the three things, That is pharmacodynamics, pharmacokinetics, and pharmacotherapeutics. So my pharmacotherapeutics is very strong. My prescription writing is very good. Handwriting was pretty good at one time, now it's gone bad. But I'm too strong at pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics both. And I know the drug and its interactions and everything, I can do it within a second, right? So there used to be good times. I used to be a good practitioner. Uday talked about why couldn't you raise a medical college? But as I tell you, I belong to an old school of thought of Dr. Vidhan Chandra Roy. He was the first Chief Minister of Bengal. And his one condition to Jawaharlal Nehru was that during my clinic times, I'll not entertain a call from the Prime Minister's house. And that was mutually agreed with the two, and Nehru never broke that protocol. I bring in here Professor Rustam Jal Vakil. He was one of those who were the first discoverer who discovered for the first time an indigenous antihypertensive drug called Rauwolfia serpentina, which is called the Sarvgandha. Rauwolfia serpentina. We have lot many examples. We have Professor C.S. Dawn, Dr. Purandre, and we have Dr. There are very many people who are Professor Shirodkar, and a breakthrough in gynecological, engineering. He could find some of the instruments he designs. He was medical engineer. He could club both the things. So we have find some unique combination in Dr. Vardhan. So that's a great privilege. But then we too had scientists who had gone beyond their sphere of medicine, and they translated into, they diversified into engineering. New procedures, surgical procedures were evolved by Professor C.S. Dawn and Professor Shirodkar. They are known for what they have contributed. There is something called Venduela species. Venduela species. Venduela species came to be known to the world when typhoid broke. Typhoid was very, very dreaded disease once upon a time. In Venezuela, one farmer was plowing his field, and he started a good day in the morning, the day started, gradually progressing. The afternoon came, evening came, he used to have an evening rise in temperature. So what I noticed was that morning I am okay, afternoon I become a little sluggish, evening I become absolutely feverish, and the fever used to range between 102, 104, 103. So he was a farmer, local farmer, not so literate. But then what he experimented was there used to be something whitish on a plant, which he wanted to just, anything which is grown there, some berries are there, other things are there. He used to eat something from there locally, Took out some berries, sometimes some jelly, something. Whitish jelly was there. He found it was very bitter. But he found that my temperature was receding. And then he repeatedly took that medicine for 2-3 days, and he found that his pattern of fever was really responding to the white, jelly that was at the bottom of a plant. Tree was there. Its bottom had some white jelly. He used to take and consume, and the fever was favorably responding to it. So the first time, the drug called chloramphenicol for typhoid was discovered. He reported it to the National Formulary, and it has been finally adopted in the US Pharmacopoeia as the Venezuelan species. So Venezuela, also a small country, a farmer could lead to a research which ultimately turned into a wonder drug for typhoid. So we need to be all the time, this right half of the brain and the left half of the brain should be simultaneously working. We cannot let one brain get suspended, the other should be active. So now, when we started this institute, particularly Honorable Professor Deshmukh, and it was one of the, I must say, he's too tall a figure. He was nominated he could have been one Nobel Prize winner for India. But there is luck would have it, but WIPS needed him more than anyone else. And WIPS perhaps will be the platform which will see you far beyond the Nobels. When we started this institute, it never started with the intention of making money. It was purely philanthropic. And it was in the deep Himalayas in Pithoragarh district. I was sitting under a silver oak tree on a moonlit night. And one Swami of the Ramakrishna order, Swami Jitatmananji, who was the editor of the Patforms Bharat, a first journal started by Swami Vivekananda himself. We were just talking, and it was some spiritual talk was going on, and we were talking to each other very intimately. And I was an initiated disciple of the Ramakrishna Mission, so my initiation took place at the Ramakrishna Mission. I joined in 1975. I started going, listening to the discourses of certain Swamis. And they're wonderful. They were highly educated people. You are doctors, you are technocrats, you are engineers, you are all sorts of, from all walks of life. So he said, which of the two people you love the most or you have fancy for? Which of the two? One is a bearded, monk. Another is clean-shaven, but he's a turbaned monk. You like the turbaned one or the one with the beard? I say, when I want to get energy, I want the turbaned one. When it comes to wisdom, I like the one with the beard. So Thakur Ramakrishna Paramhans, if you really want to be a devotee, his life has been an example for anyone to, if you want to devote yourself to a cause, a simple, gospel of Ramakrishna. It gives you so much of wisdom, that you can do anything and everything in this world. When we started with this institution in the year 2000, I didn't want students to go out with a degree on a glossy paper. I wanted each one of them to be a harbinger of change. Each one of them to be an asset to this nation, not a liability. I didn't want them to be a burden on themselves and on the parents or on the society as a whole or on the country as a whole. So we engaged ourselves in the task of man-making, character building, nation building, and 3 things are expected of a student: the right conduct, sense of duty, and sense of responsibility. We don't care for money, money will come. Your cause should be noble. Once you embark on noble cause, Swamiji said, manifest the divinity within, and everything will get harmoniously arranged around you. So manifest the divinity within, and everything will get harmoniously arranged around you. The philosophy which Uday has expounded. So I'm really indebted to Professor Pranab Chandra. He is a wonderful human being, and I'm so blessed to have his guidance, whether that be quantum mission or whether it be AI, ML or something. NVIDIA is a very costly proposition for us. NVIDIA, one thing that which I noted was NVIDIA's developer program provides access to a wide range of STK and technical resources. It's a forum for more students and researchers and educators. If you can join this forum, because to buy your hardware, it costs about 4.5 CRs, and plus another 25 to 30 CR for switches and other things. So it costs us around 5 crores. And we are a poor, charitable institution, purely the charitable purpose. And when your partner came, so I told him, I said, let's do it in 2 years. You 2.5 this year we pay, 2.5 next year we pay, because we don't have any other source of income except for the revenue generated from the fee of our students. And the fee is also fixed by the state government. We are not free to fix our own fee. So we will be soon free from that with the help of and guidance of Professor Pranab Chandra. We will be soon deemed to be university under a distinct category. We have already applied for that, and we are fully eligible for that. So we have applied for that, and next 6 months down the line, we should be deemed to be university under a distinct category, and quantum is on our priority, sir. We will be guided by your wisdom, and you have a deep insight into the quantum and tomorrow's things to unfold. I mean, it's the whole lot is going to be revealed to the people what power quantum carries. So I'm really indebted to each one of you for having to spare your valuable time. But remember this, WISP will never let you down. WISP will always keep each one of your ideals afloat, high. We will never ever compromise on our integrity. We will never ever compromise on ours, on the basic principles and ethics, notwithstanding how much resource constraint we have, but then these are my assets. Bricks and mortars won't make an institution great. It's the people who work here, and each one of them sitting here in the faculty has a minimum PhD degree. And beyond that, they have many research papers to their credit, and they keep on engaging themselves in writing research papers. They do at least one national, one international journal. They Scopus, everything, classified journals. So each one of them is contributing. They are making their immense contribution. I'm very, very grateful and very happy that I've got very young, enthusiastic educators. They are the future of this country and the future of this institute. So when I say that the brakes and motor and all this air conditioning, everything, comforts won't do anything. These are the people who will make every difference. And I need to keep my flock and my faculty motivated. Always, I want to see them happy, joyful. I want their families to be happy. And then each one of them, I want them to become a member of a society which is called the Society for the Total Revival of National Glory and True Heritage. It's a society which, on the ages of which Vivekananda Institute is working. It's a society called Strength India, Society for the Total Revival of National Glory and True Heritage. So we are working on that mission, and we will not dilute our mission at any point of time, no matter how rough the weather may be. Turbulent weather will come and go, but we are determined to make it a great institution for times to come. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring concluding words. So before I actually conclude, there are 2-3 points I would like to mention because formally the academic year, the new academic year has just started, I guess. Last week or early this week, the semester has just opened up, and then the new batch is going to join later this month. Okay, the new admissions of the first semester students are going to join later this month. So I just want to, 2-3 very big programs that are coming up, or I just want to highlight that so that we are all excited about, apart from your regular studies, the 2 big programs that are being planned. One is later, I think, first or second week of September, we are going to have a national level entrepreneurship and innovation summit, where possibly I did not mention, apart from Deshmukh ji, Utpal ji, and all of us here, we are also blessed to have the guidance of Dr. Ajay Chaudhary, who used to be my earlier boss in my first job. He is a part of the think tank, and he is the chairman of Padma Bhushan. He is a Padma Bhushan and is the chairman of the National Quantum Mission. So he has been guiding us. He's so busy, but he's been guiding us. So he will be here again in September during that national. Yep. So it's already on the roadmap. So we're just fixing the dates when he is available. So all the great people here will be participating, and it will be a college-wide event. That is one thing. Second is, I don't know if any of you are aware, Dr. Vats talked about heritage, how important heritage, culture. In fact, NVIDIA's presentation talked about the generative AI having a focus on culture, retaining the culture, which is very important. So we are doing a national Bharatiya Knowledge System convention, 2-day convention, which is going to bring together the best researchers, the best historians, the best minds in the country. And it's all driven by Dr. Deshmukh again here. And he was telling me in the morning, I think with the background of great Indian history, the Sanatana Dharma, India should be leading the quantum technology research. Why are we dependent on America and maybe some European countries? I think, though we are not going to talk about quantum in that symposium, but we are going to talk about all the great scientists and the great culture that we had, which should inspire today's and the future generations. So that is another one. The date is already fixed, October 14th and 15th. In fact, I would like to invite here on the forum Dr. Vishnuvardhan and Hanuman to participate in that, because you could be a technology partner for that. Okay, I think you must, love to have you as a partner for that, because there will be languages, there will be culture, there will be videos, so many things. Kindly, partner, we'll talk to you separately on that. And of course, NVIDIA is again now part of our ecosystem. Again, you could showcase how NVIDIA can do, retain our culture as a part of the Bharatiya Knowledge System. That is one. Second is my final thought. I always have this confusing and I would say critical and contradicting thoughts. All these great engineers who go to America, they're all contributing to American innovation, great products, great solutions for America, whether it is Satya Nadella or Sundar Pichai or so many of them who are upcoming or going to be in their seats. And even Dr. Vishnu talked about how some of the engineers there are contributing to ChatGPT and many such platforms. It's all great achievement, but I am 100% sure, and I am seeing the early trends, all that engineers, and by the way, Indians are spending $30 billion every year, 30 billion. I don't even know into 8,000 crores, how many crores is that? $30 billion to get our children educated in some godforsaken countries. Yeah. Ireland, Poland, Ukraine, there people were studying Ukraine. No doubt America is a great country. I've always, 30 years I worked for a US company, so I have no great, I have nothing, with due respect to all that. But when are we going to start contributing, putting that 30 billion, at least a part of that in India? Why can't we have 1% of that coming to VIPS? And I am 100% sure, whether you like it or not, the trend is reversing. Okay? And I am seeing that. Great institutions like VIP, private, and of course there are some government institutions also. The trend is going to reverse. I have seen it myself in VIT, Vellore Institute of Technology, which is an institution of eminence. Some foreigners doing research there. Okay? That is going to happen in VIPS. I am committed to that with all these great legends sitting in front. That is my goal. Stop that so-called brain drain. I think, what we need is brain gain, and it is happening. Right from Prime Minister Modi to everybody is talking about that brain gain and keeping that 30 billion, at least part of it, 30 billion, part of the 30 billion back in India, and invest in our universities, invest in your colleges, invest in education of your own people. I visited America many times. I am also partly American educated, but I came back. So I can tell you the lifestyle in America, even if you're earning, Dr. Vishnu Vardhan is a great example. We all love the great cars, great infrastructure, but life in India is fantastic. I can tell you this. The culture or whatever it is, it's great. And yeah. So one point Dr. Vats mentioned is, don't become a burden to your parents. Let me tell you, all this 30 billion that is going to America or various other countries, large portion is coming through loans. And the children are actually becoming burdens on their parents. Because the parents will not object, they will not, they will not stop you from going to America or whatever, because they know you are their children, okay? But they will, at some point, it will hurt them, okay? So why not, instead of taking loans and, going and studying in some second tier and third tier colleges in America, study in great colleges like VIPS or VIT or so many of them. This is another, my ambition. And I am very, I would say, shameless in criticizing people who send the children there. There are so many great colleges here. Okay? So, but people who can afford, who are rich enough, please contribute to the American economy or UK economy, send your children, but rest of you, great institutions are available here. Encourage that, spread the word, try to, make a small impact here. That's all I wanted to say. I don't think we have time for question and answer. Thank you very much for this enlightening session and for your contribution. Yes. Thank you. Jai Hind.